Hey guys, what's this? First Michelle does a traditional video, now she's doing fan art? What's the world come to? Anyway, it's just I find it funny. I don't know if anyone else does, I thought it was funny. As you guys can see here, I am clearly doing a fan art picture of Deku, or Midoriya, I'm probably saying his name wrong, from My Hero Academia. I'm not even going to attempt to try to pronounce it in Japanese. I really like this show. It's a lot of fun, and I was actually really inspired to... this was going to be something different. I was originally going to draw... Anyway, it was supposed to be Deku and his superhero outfit, but... because I like his superhero outfit. And then I ended up... it wasn't looking right, so I cut it out and started working with it. Deku's hair was a lot of fun to work with. And I like drawing his hair because, if I believe correctly, even the creator of the show and the manga has said, like, his hair's not meant to be spiky, it's meant to more be, like, curly and messy. I'm pretty sure even, Uraka, I can't say her name, Uravity, his female friend, even says, like, oh yeah, the one with the curly hair, so that's why I kind of made his hair more, like, bushy and wild. And that was really fun. And a lot of people must be wondering, why are you talking about the art? Well, for once, I want to talk about the art. And I also want to talk about, experimenting and stuff and why it's good for you as an artist, because that's what I did with this picture. It might not seem it, because, like, everything else seems normal. The sketching style seems normal and everything. But once I get to the coloring, that's where it gets a little different. I really wanted to try that crystallization sort of coloring style I've seen a few places. And this was a fun experiment, but I needed to work with it more in the future. I am proud of how it came out for my first try, but it didn't come out exactly as I thought it would. But I'm still proud of it, which is why, shameless plug, I put it on my Redbubble store, because whenever I'm proud of something, I do put it on my store, especially if I think it's like print worthy. But so what I wanted to do with the crystallization style is I think my normal way of shading, because I did the normal way I shade, where I do it all in one layer, well, like a couple layers, but I do it all at once, and then I fiddle with the hue and saturation, but it was just way too saturated and way too dark at certain points, so I had to add, like, a lot more overlays, a lot more, like, highlights. I even had to take the airbrush tool in there a couple of times and fiddle with it, but I do enjoy the learning experience, and I think it's something that a lot of artists need to know, is a lot of artists, like, I'm also bad at this, they tend to stick to their comfort zone, and they'll be like, I know I can make this look good if I use just markers, or if I use just cell shading, if I use just flats, And I think, like, as an artist, you should want to push yourself. You should want to learn more and try different things. That's also why I love doing pixel art. For a lot of people who don't know, I started off doing pixel art. I started doing, like, stuff in MS Paint. And I've always loved pixel art. And another reason why I like pixel art is really, really easy to mess up. So it's, like, really hard to try to get right. So it is, like, a learning thing. And another thing, too, is, like, just like with the shading style, I really wanted to try it, and I'm still wanting to try it with different things, but I'm happy that I learned from it, because I'm pretty sure people are going to ask, I've already had friends ask, like, oh, where'd you think of the light source, where'd you think of this, and I honestly kind of didn't. I had, like, a basic idea of what I wanted the shading to be, by that, like, the shading of his hair, where I wanted the light source to be, and then I started adding, like, lines, like, very straight lines, and you see it especially in his eyes, when I made the shading of his eyes very different compared to how I normally shade eyes. And I think that's just it too, is I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just kind of experimenting and seeing, like, okay, this looks right, this could be better. And I think it's also easier to experiment with digital art than traditional art, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, if I fuck up a traditional art piece, it's ruined. I ruined it, I can't touch it, it's gone. And to an extent, yes, but you could also, like, take pictures of your progress, maybe upload the line art so you have it saved in case you fuck up the coloring, and then you can just print it out again. I've seen artists do that. But I really think artists should get out of their comfort zone and start to do things they weren't, normally doing. Same goes for like anatomy, where it's like, okay, let's say you draw, like I tend to draw a lot of people because that's what I often get commissioned to. But I push myself and I do draw animals. I don't tend to post them because I don't like how it looks, but I practice because I'm like, no, I need to do this. Same with like props. I actually really love drawing props, but I very rarely get to draw props for work. So I'll be like, oh man, yeah, I'm gonna like sketch up some props, some still lives, this and that, just so I have it, like, I know I can do it, and it pushes me so I'm not doing the same thing over and over and over again. Because when you start doing things that are repetitive, like just humans or just chicks or just a certain shading style, it starts to get very, very repetitive. And yeah, you could do it really fast. I mean, I do, I am very proud of myself for being able to get certain pictures done as fast as I can, most of the time when life doesn't kick me in the ass, at a certain speed, because before I was never that fast. But artists need to push their boundaries, and I'm not saying go out and buy expensive ass art supplies to test the waters, no. But let's say if you're mostly a digital artist, pick up a sketchbook and a ballpoint pen and just spend finish the entire sketchbook. You don't have to finish it in in a long period of time either. You could be, in a short period of time, you can finish the sketchbook in 3 months. But just sketching it every day, so that way you can do traditional art. Or maybe for another thing for digital art is maybe if you're like me and you like using brush pen a lot when I do my doodles and stuff, get inking pens and just try to ink with your pens. And yeah, again, you're gonna probably ruin some sketches, but you're learning. You're opening up your palette so you can do more than just one thing. Because I feel like as an artist, you don't really want to be known as doing just one thing. I think a really good example of artists who do multiple things are Lumia Crescent, Holly Brown, what's her name? I think it's Emily Artful or Miss Artful. They're a good example of doing a multitude of styles. A lot of my friends do a multitude of styles. My buddy Bezzy K. Wow, I've two videos in a row. I've shouted you out, Bezzy K. She does very well, very good traditional pictures and digital pictures. And she does other things too, she does woodworking. And I mean, hell, she made a video where she literally made a fucking desk from nothing. And I'm see, I think that's why a lot of artists should, spread out the waters, test the waters, do things like that. And obviously, yeah, some people can't, some people don't have the money or whatever. And then in my case, if it's like that, then I'm well, then try, I'd say, if you don't have a lot of money, so you just have digital art and a Cintq, or a tablet. There's not even a tablet. You could even have an iPad or something, and not a normal computer. But if you have a way to do art, I think you should try other things. Maybe, if you can't really afford traditional supplies, maybe try doing pixel art. Try doing lineless stuff. Maybe try doing soft shading if you've never tried soft shading, because that's actually really hard, or even a painted style. Try that kind of stuff, because that way, you never know. You might hate it, you might end up really liking it. I really liked this, and I want to do more with this crystallization coloring style. And so I think that's a little art tip, word of advice thing. I feel like I might have rambled a little bit too long on that, but hey, if you guys like them, then, yeah, I guess I'll let the music take it away for the rest of this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, I will see you guys next time. Bye!